There's a very specific moment, a cruel millisecond, in the life of someone who can't say no. It's when someone asks for a favor. Your whole body screams, "I don't want this." Your stomach tightens. You imagine the tiredness it will bring. But your mouth, almost on its own, answers, "Sure, no problem." And as soon as the word comes out, comes the regret. You didn't want to go, you didn't want to do it, but you agreed. Again. And now you'll cancel your own plans, swallow your rest, and use energy you don't have to solve something that wasn't yours. On the outside, you look helpful. On the inside, there's resentment building up quietly. Welcome to the world of people pleasers, the compulsive, nice ones. You may see yourself as generous and helpful, someone who's always there for everyone. But today, I want to invite you to look at this pattern more honestly. Because what looks like pure kindness often hides fear. Fear of displeasing, of being rejected, of not being enough. The hard truth is that the inability to say no is not just generosity, it's self-betrayal. When you say yes, meaning no, you lie to the other and abandon yourself. You give your presence, but with a resentful heart. In this video, we'll explore the psychology behind people pleasing, how it starts, why it's so hard to stop, and how to begin saying no without feeling like a monster. Tell me in the comments, what's the most absurd thing you've ever agreed to because you couldn't refuse? And if you want to keep understanding the psychology of everyday patterns that drain you, subscribe to the channel. Let's start with an uncomfortable idea. Your excessive yes is rarely free. It's an exchange. On an unconscious level, the logic is, I do everything for you. And you won't reject me. You won't be mad at me. You'll need me. You'll stay. People pleasers generally don't believe they're lovable just for being themselves. They think they need to earn affection through usefulness. They're not just being kind, they're paying a toll to stay in people's lives. It's what we might call the utility syndrome. You only feel valuable while you're useful. This creates invisible emotional contracts. In your head, you sign an agreement that says, because I sacrificed myself for you, you now owe me gratitude, consideration, presence. But the other person never signed that paper. They just see a favor that you apparently did willingly. When they don't respond the way you hoped, you feel deeply hurt. After everything I've done for them, real generosity doesn't expect a return. When every yes carries an invisible bill, we're not talking about kindness anymore. We're talking about fear. To understand where this comes from, we need to return to the good child. Many people pleasers were, back there, the quiet child, the easy child, the one adults praised for being obedient and not causing trouble. In many homes, love was conditional. Affection only came when you behaved right. The child learned that having their own will was dangerous. Saying no, protesting or complaining brought punishment, anger or coldness. So they adapted. They discovered that being agreeable guaranteed peace and sometimes affection. Deep down, the lesson was, I'm loved when I don't bother anyone. Others grew up in homes where disagreement triggered explosions. Any no from the child set off shouting and drama. The brain registered conflict as threat. As adults, these people still feel that saying no is the first step toward a fight, abandonment, or rejection. They accept things they don't want just to keep the environment calm. The price of this adaptation appears later. An adult who says yes to everything, to extra work, favors, emotional demands, and lives on the limit, tired and resentful. Underneath the mask of niceness, there's often a lot of anger. Every time you accept what you don't want, you swallow a bit of resentment. You feel used, unappreciated, unnoticed. But instead of expressing this clearly, you smile. You say, it's fine. You accumulate. Since you're terrified of direct conflict, the anger comes out sideways, in irony, in coldness, in forgetting to do what you promised, in explosive outbursts over small things. Those around you get confused. But you always say everything is fine. Where is this coming from? What they don't see are the hundreds of no's you refuse to say before this explosion. Over time, you start to lose yourself. To adapt so much to what others want, you stop knowing what you want. Small questions like, "What do you want to eat?" or "What do you want to do this weekend?" become torture. You automatically answer, "Whatever you want is fine." Not because you don't care, but because you're terrified of choosing something the other might dislike and then feeling guilty. You become a social chameleon. You shape-shift to fit each person and group, always agreeable, always accommodating. It looks like flexibility, but in reality, it's a lack of solid identity. You're so used to molding yourself to others that you don't know your own preferences anymore. And here's an uncomfortable paradox. People start to find you boring. No one connects deeply with someone who always agrees, who has no edges, who never disagrees. It's your no that draws the outline of who you are. Without boundaries, you become a blur. So how do you begin to change this? The first step is to buy time. The people pleaser's worst enemy is the immediate answer. So create a gap between request and response. Instead of saying yes right away, practice phrases like, "Let me check if I can and I'll get back to you," or "I need to see how my schedule is." This gives you space to feel what you actually want without the pressure of someone watching your reaction. In that interval, ask yourself honestly, do I want to do this? Can I do this without harming myself? Am I saying yes out of choice or fear? If the answer is out of fear, you already have important information. Second, learn to say no without elaborate excuses. The more justification you give, the more loopholes you open for the other person to insist. Simple and respectful phrases like, "I won't be able to this time," or "That doesn't work for me," are enough. You're not obligated to explain how you use every hour of your life. Third, prepare for a social cleaning. Some people will indeed be annoyed when you start setting limits, especially those who most benefited from your lack of them. They may accuse you of having changed or being selfish. But this is a filter. Only those who are interested in you as a resource, not as a person, will leave. Those who truly care will adapt to the new you. Lastly, and most importantly, understand that saying no to others is often saying yes to yourself. Yes to your rest, yes to your health, yes to projects you've postponed for years to be available for everyone else. The first no will feel horrible. You'll feel guilty, selfish, even cruel. This guilt is the echo of an old education, not a sign that you've done something wrong. Take a breath and endure it. It passes. And on the other side, you'll discover something powerful. The world doesn't fall apart when you say no. Healthy relationships survive it. Your value doesn't decrease. If this felt like the honest wake-up call you needed, leave a like. That's a yes you can give without harming yourself. And if you want to keep learning to take care of yourself without becoming hard, subscribe to the channel. Because in the end, being too nice with everyone often means being cruel to the person who most depends on you in this life, yourself.